Hey folks, come walk with me. So, the hubbub that has me interested in the last 24, 48 hours or so is, social media going buck wild about this idea that Trump said that he would, if he's back in office, that he would release Epstein's client list, I think is what he said. That or Epstein files, whatever it is. I'm skeptical. And I think I have good reason to be skeptical, while, his sort of fervent supporters are just, putting siren emojis and saying, like, this is big, like, this is huge. For the reasons that I'm about to explain, I think it's a little bit more like, if he's elected, and we assume he has just one term left, he could say anything to get elected, because he doesn't really have to deliver on it, because he's not going to be seeking re-election. And the point of this video is not to be political. I'm interested in conspiracies. That's why this caught my eye, not because of political whatever. Obviously, everything is politicized at the moment, unfortunately, but I've just always been interested in conspiracies. And whether you like that word or not, the Epstein deal, I would think, fits the mold for an idea around some sort of vast conspiracy. So, the reasons why I'm quite skeptical. One, why not January 2017 until January 2021? What was wrong with those 4 years? If this is so, like, blow the lid off of everything, right? If this is so, like, expose them for who they are, and, like, name the names that are doing the bad deeds and whatever it is, what was wrong with those 4 years? There was ample opportunity. There wasn't, from what I can tell, there was nothing happening that was preventing that from taking place. So, again, to me, this looks a bit more like, I can say whatever to get elected because I'm not going to run again. And so if I don't deliver on something, what are they going to hold my feet to the fire in the next election cycle? No, I'll be out of there. So there's that. Why not the previous 4 years? And then the other thing is that I feel like people forget about, or they just don't want to mention, I don't know. But Epstein died while Trump was president. And everyone, not everyone, that's a Trumpism right there, everyone, there were tons of people not even looking at it from a political standpoint, people on the far left, the far right, everyone from Joe Rogan to just multitudes of podcasters and content creators. And I don't know about so much mainstream media, but definitely the I don't know, alternative media we used to call it, but I guess it's just more the current day content creator media. They were shouting from the rooftops, like, does this not stink to high heaven? This guy, this is the situation, cameras fail, and this takes place, and we're supposed to buy that? Okie dokie. And yet, again, Trump was president. Everyone's shouting from the rooftops. Something's not right here. As far as I can tell, leave me a comment if you know something else. But as far as I can tell, he didn't do anything as president to investigate that further, to lock down the situation and get to the bottom of it and say, if nothing's fishy here, we're going to go nuts on this crime scene, and we're going to go down every possible rabbit hole and disprove it. And if nothing's fishy, nothing's fishy. But everything is going to be vetted and investigated to the extreme. That didn't happen. We all know that. And so why? Why not try to get to the bottom of that again, as you're in office as president, what was the problem? So those are my two big issues. Why didn't he do it the last 4 years, meaning release the list, or lists, or whatever they are? And why didn't he take super proactive steps to do something about the very suspicious death that took place at the time when he was president? If you really wanted to do something about it, those seemed like great opportunities. Now, sort of aside from that, I take additional question. These next points are sort of lesser points to me. Those are the big ones. But I have a lot of questions around, wishing Ghislaine well. Why? Why are you doing that? There's 1,000 different ways to answer that question that don't end with wishing somebody well. Does she deserve well wishes? I don't know. It seems odd to me. And then, you have a past there. And they were close for decades, as far as I can tell. There's videos, partying together, there's photos. And here's the twist, right? Epstein gets busted, and Trump then, seemingly, as far as we can tell, unless this was all just sort of a smoke and mirrors show, right? This was for like public consumption or for like PR. But as far as we can tell, Trump boots him out of Mar-a-Lago or bans him or something like that, whatever it was. And seemingly is like willing to cooperate with investigators and all this stuff. So seemingly he puts as much distance as he can with as much force as he can at the time, which, I'm sure is meant to say, and will say to some people, oh, it's because he found what happened despicable and he wanted nothing to do with the guy. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. This is what makes conspiracy stories so interesting, right? There's so many things that it's like, and then this odd thing happened, or this maybe not at all odd thing happened, but a normal thing happened in the midst of a very odd soup. And so what that meant, or why it was done that way, I don't know. But we also know that prior to that, it wasn't as though he had no knowledge about the younger women sort of situation. I mean, first of all, if he's at these parties, he sees who's there, right? But he has the quote that was published about, Epstein being a good guy, and he likes beautiful women, and they tend to be on the younger side. It's like, that's a little too close for comfort to just be I just knew that, he liked them younger. But yeah, to get back to the original point, for those two big reasons, I'm quite skeptical that this isn't just, I'm going to say whatever I think will grab the most voters, that will grab headlines, and then that will maybe help grab voters. Whatever sort of re-amplifies or re-rallies up that, I'm here to take down the Hollywood ring and all of the QAnon stuff, which maybe we'll talk about another time, because that was a wacky series of events as well, watching that whole thing come to fruition. But this to me just feels like a shout out to those folks, and trying once again to reignite those flames, to get that stuff back in the headlines, because we know he's sort of very fixated on news cycle and sort of what's being talked about and what's being given airtime. So that's my take on it. We'll see what happens. I mean, there's a long way to go to even get there, but it's going to come quick. Now that we're in September, and just a couple months to go. It'll be quite interesting. Well, we've walked a little over 10 minutes, so if you walked with me, again, I assume we got in about a half a mile or so, which I think is about 1,000 steps. So I hope you all have a good rest of your day, or a nice rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.